Only on 12, unprecedented access to a cold case. 2 years later, and a Montgomery business owner's killer is still out there. The barbershop slaying still haunts the victim's family and friends, and the investigation has stalled. Now police and prosecutors are sharing never-before-seen evidence in hopes new details will surface. Live from the scene of the crime, WSFA 12 News reporter Lindsay Rogers. Lindsay.
Valerie, another business is here now, but in 2014, this is where the deadly barbershop shooting happened. It remains a mystery. There's little evidence on who killed Jay McCord and why. We're getting an inside look at the investigation in a renewed push for a break in this cold case. Jay McCord would have turned 38 next month. His loved ones still celebrate his birthday, even though he's gone.
We're still holding out hope, we're still seeking justice, and we're still waiting on God to answer our prayers for murderers to be caught.
McCord's sister, Felicia, went back to the scene of the crime with us for the first time since he was gunned down inside his own barbershop on Mount Meigs Road in Montgomery.
I don't know why, have no idea. I don't know who would have wanted to do it. I can't really make any sense of it.
At noon on October 14th, 2014, customers who walked in to get their hair cut found McCord suffering from gunshot wounds. The gruesome scene captured in photos taken by investigators.
I'll never, ever in my life forget that day.
Virgil Williams heard screams coming from his friend's barbershop and rushed to help. His voice captured in a newly released 911 call.
Hello?
I need an ambulance bad, ma'am. He's still breathing. I need an ambulance.
He shot in the head?
Somebody shot him in the head, ma'am.
You don't know who did it?
Hey, the police, we don't know. I just heard some shots, man. As I walked in and I seen his body, I seen him gasping for air. So that's when I ran to him and I'm like, man, you all right, man? You gonna be all right?
McCord, a father of 8, died at the hospital. He had finally achieved his dream of opening his own barbershop and was known for giving haircuts to those who couldn't afford them and doing free back-to-school cuts for kids. But it was all taken from him. The unsolved case baffling family and friends.
I had to sweep my brother's blood up and put it in the garbage can. After all this time, I still do not know of anyone that he may have been having problems with.
For the first time, Montgomery police released this surveillance video of the man believed to be the suspect, picked up on a security camera from a nearby business. He's walking in front of the barbershop's building, traffic going by, and appears to be handling something in his pocket. He heads towards the front door of the shop.
We do believe and have good information that this person in the video does know something about this crime, and we want that person revealed so that we can talk to him and get the information that we need to solve this case.
An $11,000 reward is now on the table. Loved ones hope it will help uncover new clues. They're not giving up in their fight for answers.
It could be anybody, family member. People want closure. People want justice.
Somebody out there did this and they're still walking around. So that's why I keep pushing. I'm not gonna stop until I find out who did it.
That reward money is coming from the governor's office, the city of Montgomery, and Central Alabama Crime Stoppers. And Valerie, we appreciate the support of the McCord family and local authorities in releasing some of the sensitive information in this case in an effort to spark some new developments.
Well, mystery continues to surround the shocking attack of a Montgomery man who was shot and killed during his routine morning walk.
2 years later, the gunman has not been caught. Now we're going back to the neighborhood where it all happened in the search for new clues with special access to the cold case file. Reporter Lindsay Rogers is live there with an exclusive inside look at this cold case. Lindsay?
Well, Valerie, Roger Hales lived a quiet life at the end of his street here in Regency Park, but that all suddenly changed one morning in 2014. And Montgomery investigators need to know more to help lead them to his killer. It started out like any other day with a ritual Roger Hales liked to stick to, an early morning walk around his South Montgomery neighborhood. But on August 31st, 2014, Hales made what would be his last lap through the Regency Park subdivision. The 55-year-old was headed back to his house on Southampton Drive before 7 a.m. when a man dressed in all black clothing with a gun came out of nowhere and fired at him.
Once he approached his home, he heard something in the bushes and he heard a pop. And that's when he realized he was shot.
A 911 call came in from a neighbor who heard the gunshot and spoke to Hales moments later.
I went outside and I seen him standing there. So I was like, did you hear anything? And he was like, yeah, I just got shot. He was shot in his side. It looked like his stomach. In his stomach? It looked like his side because it looked very bloody.
Hales also managed to call for help, dialing his ex-wife who lived right down the street. As they rushed to the hospital, they met up with paramedics as they came out of the subdivision off of Troy Highway. These police photos show Hales' blood-stained clothing on the front seat of her SUV, evidence of his wounds.
Mr. Hales didn't have any known enemies, had not had any recent altercations with anyone. He was just simply walking in his neighborhood when someone jumped out of the bushes. It could have been a robbery. We're not exactly sure what the motive was, but he was right here at his house when he was shot.
Hales couldn't describe the shooter or the gun and passed away days later from his injuries at the hospital. The hard-working man who liked to fish and loved spending time with his 7 kids and his 10 grandchildren, gone. And still, so little is known about his murder.
Mr. Hales lived in this house for over 20 years. Didn't bother anybody, simply went about his business every day. We need to bring this case to justice. We need the community to call if they know something, heard something, someone has told them anything about this case.
We're just looking for closure. When my siblings come home or we come together, you know, he liked us to be around. Of course, we don't have that now, so we're just trying to be a voice for the one that can't speak anymore.
Now, Roger Hales' death is the 4th cold case we've profiled over the past month in our special Montgomery Unsolved series, and of course, there are others on the books. The district attorney says he would like to see the creation of a cold case unit to specifically handle these types of crimes.